Hey guys, Harsh here, back in video. So today I'm going to unbox and review the Samsung Galaxy M31 smartphone. So this is a recently launched smartphone. I think it was released in February or March. So still it's a late for a review, but anyways we are review it. So let's get started. Okay, so here is the box itself, and this particular version has 6 GB RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. As you can see right over here, it is written, and you can also get it in the 128 version, so storage will not be an issue for you. And it also has a micro SD card slot, dedicated of course, so you will be able to download files and whatnot very significantly. So let's just get this seal out. Okay, so the seal is off. Now we can go ahead and unbox it. And wow, look at the size of this phone. I mean, it's almost as big as my hand, which is very huge. I am 6 foot almost, so you can tell that my hand is pretty big. So it is wrapped in a very clean looking plastic wrap. So let's keep that aside and see what else in the box. So you get a charger, and this is I think a 15-watt charger. So actually this is a 10-watt charger, so it can provide a high amount of charging capacity to the phone because it has a 6000 milliamp hour battery. And here is the USB Type-C cable for charging, and very good to see Type-C cable in this smartphone because the whole world now has transitioned to Type-C cable, and only very budget phone at very low price are doing the micro USB thing, but mostly now phones are coming with Type-C, so that's pretty nice. And that's about it on the box. You don't get any earphones or whatever, and I think no instruction manual as well. That is not possible. I think it's here. Oh yes, it is here in the box. So you get the SIM ejector tool, and here are some instructions for this, and no phone case or cover or anything like that. So I mean, they need to keep the price low, so that's how they did that, I think. So let's keep this all aside and start with the phone. So here is the phone, and here is the little grabber thing. So let's peel it up. And you can probably see that this phone is pretty shiny, and it has a plastic bag, so you need to worry about it, because once a phone has a plastic bag, there will be a lot of scratches if you place it like this on the table, so you have to watch out for that. Now let's turn it up and see the screen size ratio, or if it has any power in it. So some power is left in this phone, and at the back you have the fingerprint sensor for scanning, of course, your finger or thumb or whatever you like to do. And this is the quad cam system, so you get the main 64 megapixel camera, and it is a f1.8 camera, and this is also advertised as a wide camera because now the secondary camera is 8 megapixel ultra wide camera for your ultra wide shots, and the third camera is only 5 megapixel f2.4 camera, but it is a macro lens, so you will be able to shoot very close up photos. And I will be testing that in a separate video where I will be testing each and every camera and show you how you can use them at best of their capabilities. And at last, this is the 5 megapixel camera for depth sensing and portrait mode. Now the screen size is pretty big. It is 6.3 inches, so that's pretty huge for a smartphone. And the hand, it is almost a two-hand process to get to all the corners of the screen. So this is a very big smartphone, and if you have small hands, you can easily get frustrated from this smartphone. Okay, so now the phone has started up. Now we can go ahead and start testing some things. So by default you get the Netflix app, Amazon Prime Video, Hello, Daily Hunt, Snapchat, Game Launcher and whatnot. So there's a lot of pre-installed app that you don't need much. I mean, I don't use these apps a lot, but whatever. So the snappiness of the phone is great. I mean, this is working pretty fast because of the 6GB RAM that it has. So let's turn off the animations in it by the developer options to get it as fast as possible. So here's the developer option. Now let's turn off all the animations that it has. So you can see now that the phone is pretty fast. I mean, it almost has an instant touch feel to it, so that's pretty nice. I mean, that's what you expect from your price that you have paid for the smartphone. So this particular version costs around 16,500 rupees because it is the 64 gig model. But if you want to upgrade to the 128 gig model, then you can also do that, but it will cost you more. Of course, it is 1,000 rupees more expensive than this base model. And this color is ocean blue that you can get with the phone, and there is also a black color also available. Now let's take a closer look at the body itself. So on the sides you have the volume rockers and the power button for unlocking the phone, and this is all on the right side of the phone. And then at the bottom you have the speaker grill, the microphone hole, the Type-C port and the headphone jack. So this is still a pretty good thing to see a headphone jack here. And then here nothing else but the SIM tray. So let's take out the SIM and see what it look like. So this is pretty tight. So standard SIM tray formation with two micro SIMs and a micro SD card. So that's pretty nice to see. I mean, if you want, you can have an expandable storage at your will. That is something that I wish OnePlus did, so you can expand your storage. Now the front camera on this phone, it has a very aggressive notch style to it. So this is almost a standard thing that Samsung does, but I do not admire this notch a lot because this is very aggressive and it has very sharp corners, and this is unlike the OnePlus that I use. So as you can see on the OnePlus, it has more of a curved design to it. So I'm more of this type of guy. So but still the notch is on your preference if you want to look at like that. Now let's open up the camera app and quickly go through all the settings that it has. So by default it is at I think the 64 megapixel settings. So you can switch to wide option just by clicking on the trees button over here, and it will switch to a wide shot. And you can, and as you can see that once I click a photo, let me go outside and click some photos and I will show you what I'm talking about. So as you can see that in these photos there is not a fisheye effect on them, which gives the image a round curve to it. So that's pretty nice to see. And this is the wide angle image, and it is pretty good for a camera like this, and there is no fisheye effect to it, so that's pretty nice. And because the fisheye effect almost ruins the photo that we saw, and this almost happens to every low budget smartphone, so this is pretty nice. I mean, as you can see that the lines are pretty straight throughout the image, so that's a very good wide angle camera, I must say. Now in the video mode there are a few options that you can select in terms of frame rates and video recording quality. So you can shoot at ultra high definition at 30 frames per second, so that's pretty nice. And you can shoot at 1080p also at 30 frames per second. And there is a full option over here. So if you click on the full option on the video setting, then you can get this very cinematic type video, so that's pretty nice. I mean, if you are using this phone for a movie or whatever, then you can easily do that. And also you can shoot the video in wide mode in this setting, so that's pretty nice to see. But nonetheless, I will be doing a full camera and gaming performance test, so stay tuned for that video, and I will explain each and every step on how it is done. So I am quickly just going through all the settings. So in this also has a pro mode that you can use to fully manually control your smartphone and shoot some images, and it also has a hyperlapse feature, a night mode, food, I think especially for food, macro option as well. So let's click on it and see how it works. So on the macro you have to put the subject very close to your phone. So here is my finger. So this is not a very good macro camera, but still it has a macro camera, and that's a feature that some people might find useful. But the usefulness of this camera will be explained in the future when I use it for almost 6 or 12 months time. Now the good thing about the camera is that both front and the back camera can shoot 4K videos at 30 frames per second. So that's pretty nice. I mean, not a lot of phone can do that, so this is a very good feature to have. You can get crisp quality photos from this phone, and it comes with Android 10 preloaded in the software, so that's pretty nice. And that's the thing that is going around on the market right now. And the front is a glass. It is a Gorilla Glass 3, which is not that very good, but still it has a Gorilla Glass. You can prevent metal scratches and whatnot, but I still will be applying a screen guard on it to make sure that does not happen. And this has a 6000 milliamp hour battery, so it will be good to see the gaming performance of this smartphone, and the chipset is also very good, so the gaming performance of this smartphone will be amazing at my expectation. So I will upload a video on the PUBG mobile gaming test that we do on our channel, so stay tuned for that video also. And that's about it of this smartphone. Alright, that's about it for this smartphone. This was a very quick review and just to show you how this phone feels and whatnot. So thanks for watching the video. Hope you like it. Please like, subscribe and share. And also stay tuned for the camera test and the gaming test video of this phone. Thank you.